I've found myself reflecting on my past of late. Maybe it's that time of my age where I put aside more time for reflecting. I'm almost 60 now. And there was a time when being misunderstood felt, oh my goodness, so unbearable to me. If someone thought something about me, and even worse still, if someone said something about me that wasn't true, I could feel it straight away, and it became this tightening in the chest and wanting to find the right wording to clear this up very fast, to correct the record, and to make sure that I was seen properly. For a long time, I thought that was honesty. I really demanded people to know the truth, and I thought that was integrity. I thought it was me standing up for myself. But as I've gotten older, I've begun to notice something quietly shifting here. And now sometimes I'll catch myself typing an explanation in a social media post, and I'll pause and I'll read what I've written, and I realize that this isn't about me needing to clarify myself. This is actually about control. Control over how the world perceives me out there. Control over how I land in someone else's mind. Control over a version of me that exists outside my actual life. And I'm learning that I don't need that control anymore. And there is such a relief that comes when you realize you don't have to manage every version of yourself that exists in other people's heads. That's a relief, right? Some of those versions were built simply from, it might be a look or a rumor or a half story or a single moment that's blown up and taken right out of context. You don't live there. I don't live there. You don't need to tidy that space up. Now, of course, I care about being honest, and I still care about doing my best, and about kindness and fairness and showing up with integrity. But what's changing is who I feel responsible to. Yes, I'm responsible for how I live. I'm responsible for how I speak, for how I act when no one else is watching. But what I'm no longer responsible for is whether everyone agrees with me, or understands me, or even likes the choices I make. That has taken time, a long time, to settle in. Because when someone misunderstands you, there's a real temptation to believe that silence equals weakness, and that not correcting the story means you're letting something slide. What I'm finding is the opposite. There's this quiet strength in letting people be wrong about you. And it's a strength that comes from knowing who you are without needing this constant confirmation. Sometimes people will make assumptions about your motives. Sometimes they'll question your choices. And sometimes they'll decide who you are based on very little information. And if you live long enough, you'll realize this is unavoidable. But what I've learned is this: you can live a clean, honest life, and you can still be misread. You can help others and still be criticized, maybe that you have other motives for helping people. You can grow, you can change, you can mature, and still be frozen in someone else's old version of you. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, something surprising happens. Your energy comes back. Your shoulders drop, you have more peace of mind, and you start responding instead of reacting. And the people who truly matter, they begin to recognize you without needing a footnote. I still explain myself sometimes. If a conversation feels open, curious, I'll meet it. But if it feels like a courtroom where I'm expected to defend my existence, that's when I pull back. That decision alone is changing on a day-by-day basis in how I feel and show up in my own body. There's more space, more calm, more trust in the direction that I want to go in. And there's a strange irony here, because the less I try to control how I'm seen, the more at ease I feel being seen at all. I think a part of growing older or growing truer is recognizing that your life speaks for you over time. People who are meant to understand you, they'll notice how you move through this world. They'll see your consistency. They'll feel your intent. And the rest will hold their own version of you. And you don't need to chase that. So please take today's tiny daily kick. When you feel the urge to explain yourself, pause and ask, is this coming from truth or a need to control how I'm seen? And if it's the second one, see what happens when you let it pass. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to be perfectly understood all the time. You only need to live in a way that feels honest to you. And that's enough work for this lifetime. And if someone misunderstands you today, let it be. You're allowed to keep walking without carrying their version of you along the way. That is what I'm learning. Until next time, I'm Jason Stephenson. Imagine boldly, then go out and live.